Hi, it's Johnny Gorillas and you're watching the production breakdown video for my track Merry Go Home. People have been asking about this again and again, and now after releasing my first single in December, I thought this could be a good time to give this a try. And so here I am showing you how I work, how I make music, how I produce tracks. I will show you my Ableton session with all the individual instruments and all that technical and nerdy stuff that you might want to see. And maybe that's interesting for you, maybe it's not, I don't know. There's only one way to find out, so let's just jump into Ableton and have a look. So here we are. This is my Ableton session for Merry Go Home. And as you can see, it's not that extensive. So in blue, you can see the drums. There's a bass in yellow. There are some chords in green and there's more melodic stuff in red. Then there are 2 guitar tracks and some other stuff. But let's start at the beginning. And there's this crackling sound. And there's also this chords track. And both of these come from the OP1. And it's, of course, one of my favorite little synths. And as you can see, the audio clip is still called track 4, which means that I started the idea on the OP1 itself. And I only have this 4-bar loop with the chord progression. But that's what started the whole track. A couple of bars later, there's another OP1 sound, which is a tiny little melody which sounds like this. So in this case, I still know what patch I've used because I wrote it down in session view. As you can see here, there's this clip, there's the original MIDI melody, and it tells me that I've used a patch with this cryptic number, which is actually a timestamp. And I can still play the melody on the OP1. Yeah. Next up are the steel drum samples, which sound like this.
Hey, you! Get that steel drum out of the mayor's office.
Sorry, man.
And they come from a splice loop, which originally sounded like this. So I didn't really change the key and I didn't even change the order of the notes, but I gave them a new rhythm and I sliced it into simpler. I have everything on my push and then I came up with the riff, which is... So this steel drum loop is a 1-bar loop and it fits really well over the 2-bar chord progression because it creates some interesting notes and interesting colors with the different chords. So I'll play this for you. You can see the bass. It's this yellow, long, sausage-like thing. And yeah, let's listen to it one more time. I created that bass on the Model D, on the Behringer Model D Minimo clone thing, and I use this for bass all the time. I think I've used this for almost all the basses on my EP because it's just so smooth. The low end on this analog synth is simply better, superior to any digital VST's plugins. I don't have a lot of analog stuff, but this really sounds nice. Just yeah, sounds delicious. As you can see, it's only long sustained notes. But when we listen back to it one more time, there's a certain rhythm going on. So you can see this compressor doing this weird thing. Yeah, that's because it is triggered by the kick drum. And this kick drum gives a certain rhythm to the bass. Yeah, cool. Yeah, which leads us to the drums. This is a fairly simple, old school drum breakbeat thing. And here I used a drum loop, which is an Ableton stock loop. Again, chopped it up and turned it into something like this. Oh, there's another small thing, which is the OP1 top loop. That's what I call it. And that's just another small drum loop coming from the OP1. And I've used beat repeat on it. Like I've used beat repeat on a lot of drum tracks on my EP. It creates all this kind of, yeah, variation, which is really nice. So this brings us to the chorus. And the chorus still has the same bass line, the same chords, but there are more layers to it. There are more drum and percussion layers, and there are especially more chord layers for this one. So I added one layer of chords from the mini loc and one more layer of OP1 chords. And I think the more interesting thing is that I added another sidechain. This time it's not only the kick, but it's the whole drum group, which is sidechaining these chords. So after this chorus part, there is some kind of second verse, which starts here. So the bass line actually changes a little bit, and it is doubled by a guitar. We still have the steel drums. We have these drum breaks coming. Oh, that's actually a real guitar. This guitar over here, can you see the guitar? Yeah, I'm not much of a guitar player, but some single notes and I quantize the shit out of them, and yeah. Sometimes it sounds cool. So, what else do we have? Oh yeah, there's this fun little guy. Do you recognize this sound? That's actually Apple's AirDrop sound, which originally sounds like this. So I obviously had to transpose it. I added a lot of reverb, and I even play small licks with it. Yeah, that's the AirDrop sound. I hope I don't get sued by Apple now. Can you just not tell them about it, please? And then there is one more thing in this second verse part, which is the arpeggio. And I wanted to create an element that builds up and connects this second verse to the final chorus. And I did this on the Model D as well, so I've used external instrument, and it was like a three-step process. First thing I did, I entered the chords, so I can still show you. So I'm just using these chords. I'm using Ableton's arpeggiator. And then I'm adding some notes along the way. So that's my first step. After that, I went to Model D. And in the second run, I modulated the filter. Oh, in the third run, I added Echo Boy. And I played with the Echo Boy across on my push. And that is basically how I recorded the whole thing in 3 steps. So this arpeggio kind of leads us into the final part, the final chorus, final drop, like this. And as you can hear, the chords are back, the bass line is back to what it was before. But there's one significant difference, and that's in the drums. So we still have our drum groove, but the kick is gone because I added this kick. I added a 4 on the floor kick, which kind of changes the whole vibe, the whole feel to it, from this to this. Add a little more drums. Add a shaker. It's actually a shaker, I'll play it myself. When I bring back the bass, you can hear that now everything is sidechained to this 4 on the floor kick. Same goes for the chords. And we have this very housey disco vibe going. And the arpeggio still goes on. There's another guitar in this final chorus. Oops. I'm just playing some chords. The last element that enters this song is this pluck sound. And this is apart from a guitar sample. And I just took one note and added a whole bunch of effects. Alright, you made it to the end of the video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, you can subscribe to the channel, smash the thumbs up button, leave a comment. If you didn't like the video, you can still leave a comment. I hope I can handle that, and yeah, see you around next time. Bye. Bye.